Early this morning, I uploaded a video talking about or asking the question of whether or not, well, basically, the title of the video was Archie Comics removes Sonic subscriptions from the website. It was basically in the form of a question. And ever since then, I've gotten about 90 plus views, almost 95, almost 100 views in a little over 12 hours. So I thank you guys for that. But, excuse me. But as time has gone on, as we've gone through this day and I've been working, I've also checked up through my phone, my Android. I've checked up on updates of what's going on, and apparently, we've been getting some different answers. Updates of, we've been getting answers. The first answer, excuse me, when somebody contacted Archie Comics was they were no longer taking subscriptions for Sonic. Later on, they contact Archie. Someone else contacts Archie, someone with a more reliable source, I guess you could say, and they basically tell this person, "Oh, it's just temporary. The subscription service is temporarily offline. Like, oops, it's a mistake. We did something that we shouldn't have, and we're going to fix it." And then you also get word that other issues that are planned that could have been not released at all will be released. So it sounds like right now the Sonic comic books by Archie Comics are still alive and well. But the one thing that came out of the revelation that the other issues would still be released is the fact that they would be delayed by a few weeks, if not by a month. And this shouldn't surprise anybody because this happened last year. Now, last year it happened due to it happened late 2015 and throughout early 2016. The reason being is because they moved from different buildings. They moved from one building, which they called their home for a long time, to another, and thus they had some printing problems. And that could be also the answer of what's going on. That could also be the same answer now, but I highly doubt it. I think really what's going on here is more of a financial um, deal than it is anything else. Because let's be honest, Archie Comics is not on the same level as Marvel or DC just yet. But they are financially successful. However, they could be in a situation right now where they have a lot of stuff to take care of financially, like paying off maybe the monthly rent or mortgage for the building that they're in. Maybe paying off certain bills that help them keep the business going, from an electronic standpoint, like Wi Fi, lighting, whatever. And of course, on top of that, you have all the freelance writers and artists that they have to write checks to and pay as well for all the hard work. So what I look at, from my personal opinion, is I think financially they might be a little behind, or they might be in a situation where they don't have the money right now or they don't have as much money as they need to really take care of all of that. And that one of their main areas of revenue, the subscription service for one of the top comics in Sonic, is not doing so well. So maybe they feel that they need to temporarily shelve that so they can probably focus more on maybe the Sonic comics that get sold individually, that may be more of a profitable avenue for them to go down right now. That's what I believe some of this could be. It could be financial reasoning, a financial situation right now. Not a bad one, just the fact that they might be behind on some payments that they need to make, and thus that's why they're probably cutting back. They can't afford to keep the subscription portion of Sonic going right now, so they have to temporarily take it offline and cut back on it until they can get that money back to where they can restore it. I think that's basically what's going on. Now I could be wrong, and that I might be, and I might as well, and I might just be, but the thing is, that's one of the more logical, realistic reasonings right there as to why Sonic, the subscription service for the Sonic comics, is offline and only being sold individually. Now, when I hear people reporting, especially from those that say these are reliable posts and reliable resources to get information from, when I hear that things are temporarily offline and things are going to be delayed by a little bit, that gives me a bit of hope as a fan, because I've been a fan and a reader of the comics since almost the time that it began. So, to me, when I hear that, just like anybody else that's been a long time fan or a new fan, it brings a smile to my face, because it reassures me that things are going to be all right now. That basically the comics going to still be around. It's just right now going through a period to where financially its subscription portion of its service of its licensed service cannot be used. And that could also be a realistic reason. Maybe they need to cut that off to rebuild the money to bring it back. Now, another thing as well that could be a very realistic option is Archie Comics has got a lot on the plate. Maybe not financially, but in office, in publication, and outside of that as well. Because you got to remember, this month is the premiere of the Riverdale series on CW. Everywhere you go, let me show you. Everywhere you go lately, you see anything that has Archie Comics logo on it or name on it or branding, you're going to see this. You're going to see that. Advertisements for Riverdale. Heck, you even have it on top of a Sonic comic, which I'm sure they've done with the other comics. So that right there could be another main reason, a more just as realistic reason as everything else, because they're putting all their eggs into this one basket, hoping that it succeeds beyond their expectations. Now, from some people that have seen the show already through previews, first screenings, and whatever, it seems to be doing that. But now you gotta deal with a worldwide, if not nationally wide, audience that's gonna watch it every week on the CW and on demand, and they're going to be the ultimate judge of whether or not the show succeeds or it doesn't. And that's why I think Archie Comics' priorities are not straight, because their main priority right now is to get Riverdale over more than anything. Instead of trying to separate their priorities and focus on what needs to be prioritized, or at least put somebody in charge that can prioritize certain things that need to be prioritized. But that's not the case, because right now everybody has their main focus on Riverdale. That's what it is. That's what could be affecting them as well. Now, out of everything I just mentioned, it could be financial reasonings, which could be a realistic situation. From the fact that all the priorities at Archie Comics seems to be focused towards Riverdale and nothing else. Other people can bring up other reasonings as to why this is happening, or why this could be a sign of things to come, or in the future. People could look at Ken Penders and the lawsuit he had with Archie Comics. The same with Scott Fulop and anybody else in the same situation. they could blame them because they want control over the characters they created as part of the comic, instead of having the guts to say, or instead of being men and saying, okay, you can use our characters, we just want a percentage here and there. That's all we want. Or you could look at the fact that when the comic was rebooted, it was done in a way that basically you should have made that a lot of people feel 252 should have been just the new number one of Sonic, and that's it. It could be all these scenarios. It could be from the long story arc we had and people getting disinterested in it. It could be from the fact that some people might feel there was no real conclusion and they don't want to read a comic that's not going to have real conclusion. So it could be anything. A lot of people could blame those other factors. But in closing, let me say this. As long as I hear things like temporarily offline and maybe delayed by at least a few weeks, if not a month, I myself could breathe a sigh of relief. I can. Because I truly believe that Archie will not cancel this book. Why? Because it's one of the biggest successful books out there. It really is. So I don't think they're going to cancel it anytime soon. If they do bring it to an end, let's be realistic. If they do bring it to an end, then I believe I alluded to in the last video, I think what they need to do is at least let it run its course to 300. Let Universe go to 100 and then end it there. Because if you do that, at least you fulfill, at least you hit another milestone, and the milestone turns out to be your finale. I think that would be the best thing to do if they decide to cancel the book, but I don't think they will because it's one of their top-selling books. So I look at it this way. Until we get real confirmation from Archie Comics themselves, and it seems that everybody's doing their best to get some kind of information, some kind of insight, I still believe that the comics are still going to be around for a long time to come. I don't think they're going to be canceled because I don't think Archie Comics is going to want to refund people $20-something, $15-something, whatever, for the issues that were not released as part of their subscription. I don't think they're going to want to do that. So, overall, from what I understand, like I said, over the past several hours, the Sonic comics are still alive, and we just gotta wait and see what happens next. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like, and I'm out.